Hi, friends, family, coworkers, friends, amigos, amigas, Rachel, Delilah, other people in the world. Hi, it's me, host Eric. I'm a little sweaty. It's hot day. I've been busy. Today we're doing cactus cooking, and missing mothers. What I mean by missing mothers is, for a good stretch of time today, we had no idea where my mother was. We were told that she went to Arcadia Methodist Hospital, which is now USC Arcadia. But when we called there this morning, they informed us that there was no such patient there. Finally, somebody from there called us, being like, "Oh, hey, we have this lady here. We're trying to find out kind of who she is." So I went to try to visit her. Because I took a COVID test today. I tested negative for COVID. Hi, Dark Sunshine. So I thought, okay, well, I can go visit her. But when I got there, they demanded my vaccination card. For a long time, my vaccination card was with Rachel's vaccination card. But when I went to that YouTube party, I had to bring it with me. And I don't know where I put it afterwards. But I think it's in the bottom of that box over there, probably. I think it was in this little yellow bag I took with me, maybe. So the other thing I'm doing, besides that, having dealt with that all morning and it being kind of a pain in the ass, is I am cooking down some mescaline juice. My experiment the other night being a success in that it informed me, yes, it does have mescaline in it. Yes, it does make you trip. But also that I needed it about twice as much as I had that night. And also that I didn't like to eat that much cactus because while it didn't make me puke, it did give me the runs. So I've decided to take the advice of the internet guy and boil down into a tea. But I'm going to have to get up. Well, in fact, I'm going to get up very shortly here to just check it and make sure it's not boiling over or something like that. Actually, maybe I should leave the lid off as a consequence so it doesn't boil over. I mean, I should try that. This cactus slime is the slime so slimy. Look, I'll try it right now. Maybe this works well as hair gel. This is a part of the cactus you don't use, the white part, but it's still slimy. It's not bad. That's a pretty effective hair gel right there. Look at that. Who needs to buy hair gel when you can just get slimy cactus? What a good deal. That's a good idea. Thank you for suggesting this. Yeah, you don't even need to get hair gel. You just do this with slimy cactus. That's probably all there is in hair gel anyway. It's probably they just take some cactus slime and then they put a bunch of beauty product words on it and there you go. Bada bing, bada boom, Exfoliating, body and sheen, yiggity yah. It's really just cactus slime. With a bunch of beauty product words next to it. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Alright. The little pieces of green in your hair help you look like you have more hair, too. Wouldn't it be amazing if this cactus, I wake up tomorrow morning and got all this hair on my head? It turned out mescaline cactus was all you needed to regrow hair this whole time. Wouldn't that be surprising? I wouldn't come right out and say what my secret formula was, though. I'd make the pharmaceutical companies pay me a lot of money for it. Come on, Big Farm. Cough up with the dough for Eric's magic hair rejuvenating and rebuilding formula specifications. It's got a lot of secret ingredients in it, probably. You won't know until I tell you. They go, aha! We watched your YouTube channel yesterday, so we already know. I'm like, oh, come on. None of you people at big pharmaceutical companies watch my YouTube channel. You're too busy working on stuff. You don't have time to be watching my Wednesday afternoon stream called Cactus Cooking and Missing Mothers. We found her. She's no longer missing. But of course, my dad and I were both on our phones at the same time, calling different people and trying to track her down this morning. And he began one conversation with, "Well, we lost my wife," and the lady thought he meant that she was dead. I'm sorry for your loss. Not that kind of loss, lady. It's like she's MIA in the system, you know? Because she can't talk at all. She can't say who she is, so it makes sense that somebody like that's more likely to get kind of MIA, you know? Okay. So just to make sure I don't have any boiling over problems with anything, real quick check on the cactus and I'll be right back. Okay, I also made it so the lid's not 100% covering the pot because I don't want it to boil over, you know? Anyhow. Hi, Andre. I'm just making mescaline and at this point just kind of killing time. I don't know when or if the hospital is going to discharge my mom back to the nursing home or not, but if and when that happens, today or tomorrow, probably if it's going to, I'll need to set up medical transport and stuff like that. So I got chore kind of things to do, but at the moment, I went out this morning and I got a piece of San Pedro cactus that was a good 4 times bigger than the last piece I got. And I think I got more than 4 times the amount of green stuff out of it. I'm getting better at, if you do it super clean, you can get it real easy. It's like if you get it set up right, you can peel off the waxy thing in one big peel, and then the green layer fillets off of the white layer like a fish, basically. But it takes practice to get it to go easy. But I feel very confident that by the end of this boiling process that I will have 2 very full doses of mescaline, one each for me and Rachel, and that it's going to be a lot easier of a process across the board, because instead of eating this plate full of gross slimy cactus, I will just be able to drink a pint or less of cactus liquid that will do more, or to do the same amount of effect, but unlike it took me like 2 hours to eat all that cactus, so that's administering it too slowly anyway. My hope, though, of course, is my dad right now has gotten COVID and is quite sick, has fever and various other cold flu symptoms, you know. But I just tested negative for COVID, and I still feel a little under the weather, but I'm apparently not showing. I'm not contagious, or I don't have the antigens. You know. Well, I prepped. I made videos along the way of this process, so I'm going to make an explanation video of how to do it. From finding the right cactus around your neighborhood, because there are lots of these growing around my neighborhood, but you got to find the right one. It's not really in someone's yard, you know. It's kind of like between someone's yard, kind of near the curb. Looks like it's a house where they don't really care. They got some trash next to it and shit like that. Cut that one, you know, so that nobody complains about you stealing their cactus or whatever. I mean, the thing is, it's not that unusual for people to go take cactus cuttings of abundant cactuses, because that's how you propagate cactus mostly, is with cuttings rather than with seeds. But you know, I took an arm of it that was up to my chest from the ground, or almost up to my shoulders probably from the ground. So I took a big arm of it. By the time you strip off all the thorns and then the whole middle part, you know, basically you want to just cut the wings off of it and work with those is probably the easiest way to deal with it. But regardless, I got a full quartz bag full of green shavings this time. And I went out and I bought a cheap aluminum pot. Because I'm doing it on the barbecue, so I don't have to bother my dad with the kitchen. It's currently on the fire outside, but I'm not actually convinced that the fire is really fully started properly. I should probably go like double check that. I use two different kinds of charcoal and wood in the fire, because I've got these super long burning, kind of hot burning octagonal fancy charcoals, but they're really hard to get lit and get going good, you know. So I put on top of it some what they call lump charcoal, not briquettes, but like made straight out of the pieces of wood. But that goes pretty quick, so I should probably go and mess with the fire a little bit more here before I actually settle into this streaming. I'll do that in a couple of minutes after I finish this cigarette. I got my Adderall today. But, you know, I had done a bunch of stuff this morning before I even took the Adderall, so I'm feeling pretty energetic compared to how I've been feeling this morning. Yeah, I know. Well, these pieces of wood I got are specifically, they're like, well, they look like the Scrabble where you put your tiles things. They're like pieces of wood that are like that, you know. Like you could literally take one of them and put it down and put Scrabble tiles on it, and they would fit there just fine. But regardless, it's designed. I mean, it came in a bag as fire, you know, barbecue fire starting wood. So once I make sure the fire is nice and hot, the cactus doesn't taste like much. It's really quite tasteless. It's not bitter. It's not sweet or sour. It's slimy and doesn't really taste like anything. Kind of like cucumber without the cucumber flavor. It just tastes kind of like green. You know, if green has a taste, it tastes green. Like grass clippings or something, a little bit, you know. It's better than Nopalus. The kind of cactus that Mexicans eat normally is called Nopalus. It's also called prickly pear cactus. It's the ones with the big, broad leaves, flat leaves ones. I don't like to eat that at all. I've had it plenty of times. I think it's gross. But eating this San Pedro cactus raw was less gross than that. I mean, I choked down the whole plate of it. And, but the one thing I would say about it also is that it made me very, very flatulent. It made me very gaseous. After I ate it all, and I didn't quite get a full dose of mescaline, so I kind of tripped for a little bit, not very hard, and then went to bed and just farted up a storm all night long until in the morning when I had the runs. Yeah, cactus salad is meh at best. But, it's fine. I get it, eating cactus, if you're eating it because it has mescaline in it. That's a perfectly good, logical reason to eat cactus. I just don't, I don't think, I mean, in general, I think people eat cactus because it's cheap, not because they really like it. It's the liver of vegetables. Cactus is the liver of vegetables. Is a good thing to say. Wow, I like the way what this does to my hair. Actually, I might make a video about how San Pedro cactus is not just good for psychedelic trips. It's also good for making your hair flat. I mean, isn't that really all that hair gel is slime? Why wouldn't we just use this kind of naturally occurring slime? Why would you buy it at the store? It's better than using slug slime. I wouldn't want to put banana slug slime in my hair because that's too sticky. It's like you can't even wash that shit off. It's so sticky. If you've ever picked up a banana slug before, you won't pick them up again. After you pick up one banana slug, you're like, okay. It's 3 days later, I still have banana slug slime I can't get off my hand. This side doesn't seem, this side over here doesn't seem to be as flat as it should be, but whatever. It's fine. So, okay. I'm going to get up briefly and make sure I got that fire going properly before I settle in. And I don't want to mess up my cook here. So I'll be right back. I guess I'm not even going to bother putting this on for you. I'll be right back. Just tell everybody who comes here I'll be right back. Okay, well, it is boiling, and it's not boiling over, and it seems to be boiling at a right amount of boiliness, so should be fine for a while. It's going to take probably a couple hours to boil down. I'll have to add more. Charcoal and stuff in a bit. So basically, if you don't know what a San Jose cactus is, and you Google it, and you live anywhere south of Oregon on the west coast, Arizona, Nevada, California, maybe even the bottom part of Oregon, I don't know, but you will probably notice that you have a lot of people growing this cactus in their yards. It's a tall cactus, so it's kind of almost tree-like. Hi, Rachel, darling. And Yet it's not a saguaro, so it's not so slow growing as saguaros. And it's like all over the place in Los Angeles. And so I was skeptical when I first read about, or when I first heard about it on a Netflix documentary on, it was 4 sections of documentary. One was on mushrooms, one was on acid, one was on ecstasy, and one was on mescaline. Well, I'm just gonna throw away the cactus part when I'm done boiling it. I'm just trying to, and it's just the dark green flesh of it. So, but the thing is, apparently, this San Jose cactus has, it has the same operating psychedelic as peyote, but I guess peyote has some maybe additional ensemble effect chemicals in there, whereas the San Jose is just straight mescaline. And the San Jose cactus is layered. It's got this layer of wax paper stuff on it, and then underneath there's a thin layer of dark green flesh, and then underneath there is white flesh. You got to like fillet off these layers of dark green. And I got better at it as I was doing it this morning. But it's still kind of a ham-fisted affair. You really need like super sharp chef knives to do it well. Of course, the problem is your knife is continually getting sticky and covered with slime. Your hands are continually getting sticky and covered with slime. So when you try to put the pieces, you're just constantly going like, get off of my fingers. Nevertheless, I am anticipating by probably, by about 9 p.m. at the latest, that my cactus juice will be done. And I'm actually anticipating, unless Rachel nixes it, that we'll probably drink it tonight. Yeah, I know, Dallas. There's a video of me harvesting and trimming weed actually on the channel, and that is also a pain in the ass. Your scissors get all gunked up with resin. Your fingers get all resiny. It's a real pain in the ass. These are the kind of scissors you need for that. These sewing scissors, these one-handed sewing scissors. These are the best scissors for trimming weed. But they'll get so sticky that they don't open back up on their own again, And before long, you start saying to yourself, do I really care how manicured this weed is? Before long, you're just like, do I really need to cut off all these little leaves? It doesn't take too long before you start thinking that. And you play, is it easier to pull the leaves off with my fingers, or is it easier to use the scissors? And then you pull a leaf off and it pulls part of the bud off, and you go, fuck it, I'll use the scissors. Yeah, it's a horrible job. Sticky things are gross in general and difficult to deal with. I don't even like opening those disposable grocery store plastic bags, because you have to go like this. Come on, open. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got like a solid pound from the last time I grew in Temple City. And there's a big ass bush outside. So that was a long process. Well, Andre, you can thank today's slick back hair. You can thank the San Jose cactus for it. It's not doing a perfect job, but you know. Yeah, well, I put it in this raised planter bed in the middle of the front yard that I had in my Temple City house. So it was like full sun, fertilized, raised planting bed that had formerly had a tree in it. So it's like the tree had come out and all the stump had been ground away, and so it was really, and nothing had grown in it for years. It lay in fallow, and then I put the plant in there. It just went boom. Just really shot right up into super big. The last few seeds I've tried to start haven't started for me. I need to get some seeds. Or clones. I mean, they have a place in LA called House of Clones where you can go and just get clones of females. I've had the door open too much. Now I got flies, flies, flies. Everywhere you look, flies. Die, motherfucker. I hate flies so much. I hate them with a passion that I normally reserve for, I don't know, genocide and Diet Coke. Genocide, Diet Coke, and flies. The three worst things in history. You know, it's really a toss-up as to which is the worst. Yeah, genocide's bad, but flies really happen to a lot more people. If you look at the cumulative impacts of flies landing on you and irritating you, just think of those poor people in Africa. They have flies landing on them all the time. They got like massive flies landing like right on their lip, and they don't even shoo them away. That's why I propose my groundbreaking, money-making, opportunity investment of a lifetime. Now's your chance to buy shares of Eric's bringing fly swatter technology to Africa program, where I intend to introduce Africans to the fly swatter. And so then they won't have to sit there with flies on them all day, just failing to shoo them away. What are my favorite weed strains? I don't really have any favorite strains. I don't really believe that strains are what's responsible for whether or not weed's good or not. It's a specific plant and grow. Like, it is true sometimes we get spectacular weed and sometimes we get shitty weed, but you can't, if let's say I get a really good eighth of this stuff was called LA Rouge. Well, if I go get somebody else's grow of LA Rouge, it may not be anything like this. It's so much a matter of how it's grown, how it's picked, how it's manicured, but it's point of freshness and shit that the strain seems almost irrelevant. I mean, Rachel and I usually get hybrids or indica heavy hybrids because it is true that there are sativa strains that are like especially bred for smell and flavor, and that they tend to be less strong. I mean, and the thing is, whenever I've grown, I have no idea what I was growing. Because it was just some seed I got out of some weed at some point that got put into a bottle with some other seeds that I never kept track of it, where they came from. So I didn't know what it was. The weed that grew at Kimberly's house was pretty good. It didn't last very long, but it's because Spacey was here. And Spacey is a bold boy when it comes to his lung capacity and his willingness and interest in smoking weed. My interest in smoking weed has gone very much down lately. I'm not that interested in smoking it. If I run out, it's no big deal. I don't necessarily need to go get more right away. I'm just kind of mad about it because it doesn't really get me high anymore, you know? I guess it hasn't for a long time. But it doesn't even or get me whatever enough to make me want to smoke it anyway like I have historically. Is that guy already dead? Yeah, I think he was already dead. So anyway, I got an interesting link from Winston's mom yesterday about how to grow your own mushrooms. And it doesn't sound that difficult, actually. It sounds pretty straightforward. But I just have to... I'd buy the grow in the bag thing, and and then the spores you buy separately, I guess, from somewhere. I'm not sure. I'm sure some place will ship them to me. They're more or less decriminalized in California. I don't know if they are technically or not, but there's an operating church in Oakland that's a mushroom dispensary, so they're letting that go down. Then I'm sure somebody will ship me mushroom spores. I'm not even sure if it's illegal to ship mushroom spores. It might not be. So, with this bag thing that they sell, they make it so you don't have to. It's really straight. You know, normally there's this transfer of containers process, and you have to keep everything super sterile, or it won't work, and it's kind of hit and miss. But with this grow in the bag thing, I don't have a syringe. You're supposed to inject it in the thing with a syringe, but I have like a syringe that it doesn't have a needle on it. I'm not sure if that would work for this. I think you need a needle one. Maybe they send the spores in a syringe. I'm not sure. I don't even know where you buy a syringe. Could you buy it at the drugstore? I'm not sure. I guess I could get like a meat syringe, you know. That would probably be fine if I sterilize that enough. But anyway, other than that, it seemed very easy to do. It's a month or a month and a half long process. It looks like, maybe 2 months. But I don't know. I feel corrected on time frame stuff a little bit from COVID. COVID had a weird effect on me. COVID really impacted my state of being in a way that other colds have not, you know, as I recall anyway. Now, I do feel like I'm, you know, I went to bed last night thinking, oh shit, I'm gonna get it again too. My dad got it again. But actually, I feel fine today. I feel better. Needle syringes are regulated. How do drug users get them? I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. So if I went to CVS and said I want to buy a syringe, I'm trying to inject these spores on growing mushrooms, they wouldn't sell to me? I'd be like, look, I'm not doing drugs, okay? I don't have any track marks. I'm not interested in injecting myself with anything. Or anybody else, okay? I'm just trying to grow mushrooms, but I need to inject the spores with a syringe. I couldn't talk anybody into selling me a syringe. say, well, you're not allowed to grow mushrooms either. And I say, I didn't even tell you what kind of mushrooms I'm growing, motherfucker. Is taking naps related to cognitive functions? Well, it links to SI, but the thing is about SI is it gets accustomed to a way of doing things. Whether that includes an app or not is going to depend on the individual person. It's going to an SI conscious user is going to get the necessary amount of sleep in a way pretty consistent to them, but it's not going to be the same for among different SI types. For me, I like to take afternoon naps usually, and then like if I weren't on any Adderall, the way I would end up settling into SI wise would be about 6 hours of sleep a night, and then about 2 hours of sleep and nap during the day. I'd get my 8 hours. But with Adderall in the mix, I'm not a good example. Hi, Planet Lave. I'm doing fine, actually. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling purposed and purposeful, I'm feeling good to have something purposeful to engage with my dad about, namely the fact that they lost my mom. It's like, the nursing home told us that she was sent to Arcadia Methodist and has not been brought back. And we confirmed with multiple calls that both those things. And then we called multiple times to Arcadia Methodist and every other hospital around, and nobody had any record of her or where she was or whatever. Then until finally, like today, this afternoon, the social worker from the hospital called us, because I think they didn't know who she was. Why else would they tell me? I talked to the lady myself. I'm like, okay, here's her name, here's her birth date. Try this spelling. No, we have nobody like that here. They're not here. We are sure. I mean, I don't think that well, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'm sure probably a meat syringe, like to shoot juice under the skin of a turkey or whatever. Probably that would work, I would guess. So I can't find my fucking COVID vaccine card, and I can't go visit my mom without it. Rachel had both of our cards, but then one day I got to go to this, whatever, this fancy YouTube party. And they warned me ahead of time that I had to bring my vaccine card. And so I took it with me. And then I don't have it in my wallet, so I don't know exactly where it is, but I think it might be in that box over there. Because I think I took it in with me in my yellow bag. And I think I put that yellow bag in that box. And I think that it's probably in the box. Hi, darling.
Hi.
What's going on?
Nothing. I'm just making some soup.
Cool. How are you feeling today?
I'm just super tired.
Well, get your rest. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't explain why, but...
It's COVID, man.
Yeah.
It's like, I was that way yesterday, and I'm not really today. Mm-hmm. Am I actually over it all of a sudden? I don't feel totally over it, but I did test negative.
That's good. That's a good thing.
I have never actually tested positive for it.
That's true.
Or did I last time? Oh, no, I didn't
take it.
I didn't take it. You took it and my dad took it, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I definitely had it. I mean, there's no disputing what I had with COVID. I just didn't take the test when I would have tested positive for it. Like a solid month. A solid month now, right, Rachel?
Yeah, solid month. Crazy.
My dad re-got it, and it's different. Like he's down for the count right now. He's got a fever. He's got chew, but you know,
I
he
think it affected him the worst.
this time.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I think it actually maybe affected you worse the first time because it lasted
You're right.
longer for you. My dad kind of got over it quicker than you did
I
at first.
forget how I was before.
Yeah, and it's been it's a slow sickness. I mean, I think because it's novel and lab edited, probably the human immune system is taking some time to adjust to it, and who knows what and how the vaccine is interacting with the immune system's processes there as well.
Yeah.
It's definitely a weird experience, but like I said, I have to kind of credit it for fixing me in some way, because things like growing mushrooms that take a couple of months, I've always thought, oh my god, I can't even SE to start that because it's the end of it is so far away. But I feel much more like, oh, that'll be fine. I'll start that, and then we'll just wait it out, and you know, it does its things on the own. I just got to make sure I do meow, meow, and meow, meow, and it'll be fine. It seems so straightforward, but that is something that has given me a lot of trouble my whole life. I don't know if you call it ADHD or whatever. And how is it any different from the common flu which you would most likely experience and endure? Well, it has a unique taste to it. COVID does. And yes, it impacts your sense of taste and smell, but it also has its own taste. And it's got a complicated relationship with your gut and your bowels as well. As far as the symptoms go, they were milder than most symptoms. You know, I found it milder and yet more energy sapping. Like, it sapped my energy completely a lot of times. It kicked Adderall's ass. I gotta go check on my cactus soup.
Oh, I checked on it. It looked good.
Oh, it looked good.
Yeah.
Okay, so the cactus soup is looking good, but I'm having to make a couple of adjustments here. So up to the fire, I'm adding more charcoal to the fire, and I'm adding more water to the pot now. So, Jeremiah Fix, I am much enamored of your Entropotripocles reference. Thank you for that. That was really one of those day-making kind of things. So I'm going to put on some music for you right now while I deal with this, because it's going to take more than just a second. Even though it's not going to take a super long time. But I'm also making a video of the process, so I got to take the phone out there and do that. So, if you'll excuse the brief intermission, and even if you won't, here comes the normal songs I always play. This time I'll tell you what, fuck it, why not? I'm going to push shuffle, okay? So, normally I always start with the beginning, but I'm going to shuffle it. Two, four, six, eight, 10, a dozen. You say I'm responsible, I wasn't. You say that I do, I doesn't. You say that I must, I mustn't. She knows well how to kill men, blindside them with running up hills, and then crank knobs to 10, assault them again with a deafening din. Salt their eyes, make them blind, break their chin, and when you say you're right, but you're totally fussing. If they serve you con, you demand russet. I check my phone, yours doesn't. How could you do be your cousin? Break my hands, kick my butt, salt my lands, kill my sperm, take my hands on the phone, negate the truth, crack my cups and shake up cans, I collect teeth my glands, legislate bend my plans, I render my orderly bends asunder, find and condemn every one of my blunders, make me attend to your golden thunder, forget the tattoo, just remove the skin under. Jackson, I'm beating in no sugar, find a great deep in my head, and I'm just staying down the grace, if the wind make a bed, is about ready, nomenclature, they have been no rigorous injections, and vigorously left to call for them, I know it concerns them. Comparing back to wind. You're the leader of the crew, clad in captain's coats, a sheet captain tamed, and a fish sinking all of the boats. So Mr. Hall sees a risk, Mr. Oates does too. You're a man, need a girl, what the hell am I to do? Pull my butt and break my hands, kick my butt and salt my lands, kill my sperm, take my ham, stone affirm, to get the truth, crack my cups, shake up cans, act aloof, tease my glands, legislate, bend my plans. Render my orderly bends asunder, find and condemn every one of my blunders, make me attend to your golden thunder, forget the tattoo, just remove the skin under. Pull my butt and break my hands, kick my butt, salt my lands, kill my sperm, take my ham, stone affirm, to get the truth, crack my cups and shake up cans, act aloof, tease my glands, legislate. Out of rock, rock and roll, bring around those heavy chords. Show me how to be so hard. Put the 1984 gotta rock. You are so hot, I don't know what I thought. Listening to that jazz and country shot. When I should know you go to my man, gotta rock. After all your talking, talk to the very rockin' it. Gotta rock, I roll, roll your. Okay, I'm back. I wasn't gone very long. I'm a friend of the band, and I stand to apprehend those who pretend to be God sent to make understand the glory of chicken soup produced by a no-name brand. Huh. Well, good for you. Hey, you know what? Your Mom's Face is a rapey song. So just knock it off. Sorry you didn't like the song choice today. Like I said, it was random. It actually started off with Karma's Pimp song that I made. But I thought, no, don't play that. Karma's Pimp might be here and they probably feel bad. You know, sometimes you really piss me off, you get a song made. And it's also the origin of a song called Host Eric's Pimpin' Hand. You're not careful, but you're going to get a song, Mr. Rapey Pants. I'm going to call you Rapey Pants from now on. Bobo Rapey Pants Fett. What do you think about that, mister? What do you think about that? Good question, huh? What do you think about that? What I tell you is a great song that I enjoy a lot, and that's why I started with it, is I'm Making Corn. That's a really good song. Let's listen to it again. Let's listen to it together this time. Let's appreciate what a good song it is. Oh, I don't think I played the right one, though. I didn't play the right one. I played a different song. What I meant to play was this one. So this will be the first time for all of us. So get up, Eric, quit your bitchin', cooking showtime in the kitchen. Be alive and start to roll. You won't arrive if you don't go. The sun has rose, the bread has risen. This chooser's nose will choose this trippin'. I'm up all night, but I ain't trippin'. I'm making corn. I'm gonna work all night, I'll perform, I'll accomplish outcomes, fight and suborn, all the light and scorn, I'll ignore the storms. I'm gonna gather up all of my corn. Giblets make up a turkey's rind, but I'm gonna make up the nibbler kind. Nibs are the form of the fruit of the corn, so niblets unadorned are the bibless kind. They're shorn, I perform a corny form, and warm on the stove just fine. Knife from the drawer for the chore, got a few dozen nibs, but I need a lot more, and the nibs will fall to the floor. Like horns on bulls attacking, like storms of gavel clacking, they fall to the floor like a... I come home, you're requesting corn. I've got a thought inside of my mind. How's about I dip my cob in your creamer and nougat? You're requesting corn. I've got a thought inside of my mind. How's about I dip my cob in your creamer and nougat? So corn up and form a corny form. Warm on the stove just fine. And tonight's the night. Making corn. Dipping my cob in your nougat. You got such a rich and creamery nougat. But when I tell you so, baby, you just say that it makes you want corn. Did Vin Scully die? Did Vin Scully die? Did Vin Scully die? Yeah, R.I.P. The last celebrity death that affected me like this, one will and does, it was Chick Hearn. Although Chick Hearn's was much more tragic. Even though Chick Hearn was old, he went from being a very active, still very super competent broadcaster to dead in just a couple of months, and there was no graceful exit like Vin Scully. But I grew up with, I mean, and the other thing is, the timing of it is interesting because that man, if anybody could be said to be my mom's hero, Vin Scully was my mom's hero. He used literary references and he was so graceful, and she absolutely loved Vin Scully and spoke glowingly of him all the time. I grew up my whole childhood listening to Vin Scully on the radio. Dodger baseball is on the air. It's a beautiful day for a home run. A beautiful day for a run. The fans are out to get a ticket or two. From Walla Walla, Washington to Kalamazoo. It's a beautiful day for a home run. But even a triple's okay. We're gonna cheer and boo and raise a hullabaloo at the ball game too. Dodger baseball is on the air. Thanks to Farmer John. You know, and we were a Dodgers and Lakers family, so I listened to both Dodger and Laker games on the radio growing up. Chick Hearn was the best broadcaster of all time. I typed this sexy woman who lived down the Gabba once. I don't know what that means. I do not know what that means. He was a great gentleman, a great man, and a huge part of my childhood. You know, like a surprisingly large part of my childhood was, if you think about it, was spent in the car or otherwise listening to that man speak. Oh yeah, it's hard to his passing is not tragic. It's graceful like everything he did. So, what a slabular couple of days, huh? Slabs are coming in hard and fast. Okay, I'm gonna do a quick check on my soup because made it super hot now, so I'm a little worried it might boil over or go too fast, you know. No, it's fine. It hasn't even started boiling yet. It's the new charcoal hasn't fully caught on yet, and so forth. I mean, Vince Scully is to Dodgers as that guy to the Cubs, whose name I don't remember at the moment. That bad broadcaster, but still the voice of the Cubs. You know, what was his name? I forgot his name. Well, I mean, I think what he meant to say is, you know, like he lived a pretty long time. That kind of respectable. Yeah, like as if it were a competition. My mom's not gonna make it that long, but I think it's fair to say she viewed Ben Scully a contemporary. Hi, Alien60. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Have any advice or wisdom you mind to share? Don't count on getting as lucky as I get. Well, I mean, my mom got admitted to the hospital because she took a dramatic turn for the worse of some sort, you know. We still haven't gotten clear indication from the hospital what's going on, when or if she's going to be discharged. So we're waiting right now. But the thing is, from my perspective, being somebody who engages with people identity first, I really feel like my mom died a long time ago. You know, I find it almost a discredit to my mother to remember and know her primarily as this shell of a woman that she's become, you know. My dad is much more experienced first, and so, you know, I think her physical passing is going to make a much bigger impact on him than it will on me. I've been much more impacted recently by my dad sharing with me that he's battling with depression. So that's been a spur to cause me to want to take action to make sure my dad's okay and I'm being a good son. And what I mean by advice of don't assume you're going to get as lucky as I am. I have been, and I'll continue to be with it. It's like I'm getting this extended chance to reconnect with my childhood home and my father and my dying mother here at the end before eventually my father passes, and then, you know, it's like we'll probably sell this house, and then, but I will have had the chance to come back and reinvest time into this place and connect for those past SI experiences with more recent ones. Share with Rachel my life, where I came from, you know. And interestingly, with SI fourth and NA first, I like knowing her as this person who began to exist after we came together, but I spend a lot of my time telling her about how I'm a person who existed before, and all the details of that. But I think it's consistent with both of our function stacks that it'd be the case. I really don't want a person's baggage, and yet I don't really have baggage per se, but I have a lot of past that I'm going to share. Yeah, well, the thing is, Boba Fett, it's not that simple. It is not that simple. Everybody wants to tell me this or that about my dad, but it's more complicated than that. He doesn't necessarily want to spend time with me. Okay? I think he's happy to when we're doing something specific. When he's happy today, even though he's sick in a sense, because we're solving a problem together. We're standing next to each other, each of us calling a different hospital, trying to find where my mom is. She was MIA for 12 hours or something. Arcadia Methodist had her, but they didn't know who she was. They had no idea who she was, and she can't tell them anything. So finally, a social worker contacted us today. After I called them multiple times, told them, listen, the ambulance, the people at the nursing home talked to the ambulance driver. They said they're bringing her here. What do you mean she's not there? They couldn't find her anywhere in the system. So then we called around all the other hospitals all morning. That kind of stuff makes my dad happy. And having me come in and check multiple times, like any updates and what can I get for you and stuff, it does make him happy. And I'm going to continue to do that. He doesn't really want me to spend a lot of time with him unless it's me showing I'm being useful about family stuff, right? And I'm happy to do that. And because he loves you, that's why, Boba Fett. Because he loves you. He's probably FI like my dad. For the same reason why I made sure to carry out food to, nobody's dead yet. Okay? Nobody's dead yet. Except Ben Scully. He's dead. But that's sad, but not tragic, and just sort of makes you think about life, not really feel so. It's not a sharp pain. Maybe not. I think at this point, no. I think maybe a month ago, yeah, sometimes. No, it's fine. It's fine. My mother was missing in action. Okay, we have since located her. We didn't. The thing is, my dad said the same thing to somebody on the phone today. He started saying this. Okay, hi, we've lost my wife, and they think he means she's dead. No, we haven't lost her. We have a missing woman here. We do not know where she is. It's totally fine. I'm not super sensitive about this shit anyway, right? Just because it's important to me and makes me cry and stuff, I don't expect you guys to care. I appreciate the sentiment and all that stuff, but I to me, feelings are weather, They're just like weather. They happen to me, and then they go away, and then something else happens to me, Right now, I'm in a good mood. I'm like I said, all of my sadness links to my dad, my dad's state of affairs, not my mom. And I feel good because I feel like I've been attentive, and I have faith that I'll continue to be. That I needed him to share with me that he was struggling, because he's not one I can read very well at all. I've never really been able to read him very well. And I'm also one to just be lost in my own shit, But I feel like as I was saying before, that COVID kind of fixed me in terms of being more like a sensor. Being more about scheduling a day and getting things accomplished. Like I started getting all this cactus soup stuff together before I got my Adderall. I had already done most of the work, you know. So it's like that's following through on a plan that, in a way that I normally have trouble with. I mean, sure, it's a little easier when you're making drugs. You feel a little bit more motivated. But still. Stupid fly. God, I hate flies. Oh, I hate them so much. And they fly in here just like, as soon as you open, it's like there's a line of them outdoors waiting to get in. As soon as I open the door, they go, yo, come on in here. I hate them so much. I'm going to check on my soup. Alright, we got a pretty good boil going and enough water left for the moment. What are you talking about? Boba Fett? Who said anything about Jeff Goldblum? Oh no, boil. A good boil going. It's boiling the right amount. It's not too, and it's not just a little boil. I put the lid on. They're not that. It's low enough that I'm confident it's not going to boil over. So it's a little bit of a risk to speed things along, you know. Well, you can't rush art, and it may be the case sometimes that you can't rush drug making. I think it turns out, Boba Fett, you might have been right the other night when you said you really need to do some sort of prep or cooking process. The reason isn't so much that you need to do that to get the mescaline. It's that if you are going to get the right amount of mescaline from eating the cactus, you have to eat too much cactus. It's like, and it's not good for it makes you poop. It makes you poop a lot. It was just a joke. I was just joking. Like, the last person who thought they were INTP was an ESTJ that I typed. He thought he was INTP. He was definitely an ESTJ. His TI was not very, very good. That is not true. Boba Fett, that's not true. That's silly. You don't even have to swallow them, you know, really, to get all the drugs out of them. Your mouth is a drug absorbing part. Which is why if you want to get all of your drug, if it's a pill, dissolve it under your tongue. Don't swallow it. And when you swallow it, you'll get stomach acid eat away some of the drug. Yeah, Alien 60. That is not true, Boba Fett. Look, mushrooms only last 5 hours anyway, from start to finish. Really, 5.5 maybe. Is TI always concerned with binary black and white thinking? Well, yeah, but look, it's it may seem a little dumb, but it depends what you're talking about. So if you listen to two TI tool people talk about what they want to do, there's going to be very little consideration really. Here's what TI tool looks like. Where do you want to go on vacation? You could go to Vegas or I'm just like, I just immediately grasp onto the first thing he says, which is Nevada, and I go, but I prefer Laughlin over Vegas, so I say, well, let's go to Laughlin. I don't really think about the question. I don't give it the consideration it deserves. Where do I want to go on vacation? It's going to be 115 degrees in Laughlin. Maybe you should go to Mammoth. It doesn't. I don't even think about it. So in that regard, TI is concerned with the kind of questions that you can give definitive answers to right away. Not all questions are those kind of questions. Some kind of questions are those kind of questions. The kind of questions we're talking about around here usually are. So you want an answer to that. It's either yes or no, right? You don't want me to say, well, meow, 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 meow. You might want me to say meow, 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 but that's not giving due credit to the amount of black and whitedness that is implicit in cognitive functions. Not everything is all black and white, but some things have a lot of black and white elements to them that you can articulate clearly. This is correct and this is incorrect, as long as you frame it adequately. You've got to provide the context and stuff. It's not easy to do good intellectual work, but when one does it with TI. Yeah, but Melting Zero, it still doesn't tell you anything about where you want to go on vacation. That's the point. Is that most questions that most people deal with most of the time in their own lives are not questions that require a lot of TI. TI stuff is appropriately used in determining statuses for matters of public concern, public policy, public narratives, things like that, right? If you're going to be reading and writing essays about what ought to be, then normative stuff, then TI is an appropriate thing to use because, there are certain kinds of claims that can universalize when contextualized adequately, and it's appropriate to do so and try to adhere to those norms if and when they are the soundest norms to adhere to. And that's what TINE does, is it says, regarding those matters that we can deal with on a black and white level, what is the correct course? What's the correct protocols? What's the correct frames and stuff? Hi, darling.
Hi, I have a question.
Yes, darling.
There's something that I'd like to get on sale for $29.95. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead and
That's
get it. Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
Of course. I'm in the middle of cooking a cactus. Additionally, we found my mother successfully, and I have yet to be able to actually visit her. She was missing for a while. She was MIA. We didn't know what hospital she was at. The hospital she was at had no record of her being there until the social worker called this afternoon, and then we got it figured out. But for a while there, it was weird. It was like the Twilight Zone. Where did my mother go? Everyone's agreed that she left the nursing home in an ambulance, and we had to track down which fire department went there. the fire department we expected didn't go there. Then the fire department they expected didn't go there. I mean, it ended up being an unincorporated county fire department that went there. We called them and actually talked to the captain of at that fire station, and he said he would talk to the people who went there to find out. And so then we called all kinds of hospitals all around. We couldn't find her anywhere. Finally, a social worker from Arcadia Methodist called us and said, we're trying to figure out who this woman is, basically. Although she kind of fooled my dad into hiding that fact, but well, whatever, shit happens. You know, I wasn't so stressed about it as my dad was. My dad was really not happy that there came a point at about 10 a.m. this morning, or actually about 9 something this morning, where there was literally nothing either of us could do except wait until 10 to talk to this other person. And so he was like, you know. Anyway, if you want to work on debate stuff, Jeffrey, we could do that tomorrow. I also got my Adderall prescription in, so I also tested negative for COVID, so it's kind of a big day. Also, Vin Scully died. What's up with that? I don't want to do it tonight because I'm going to take mescaline instead. You're frustrated by ESFJ? Feel like talking to a dog? Well, I like talking to dogs. You know? They look at you. They go like that. They jump on your lap. I don't know. There's no theory, okay? It's not. I don't have a system. It's not a theory. It's a generally correct articulation of cognitive function. You go to channel search defensible typology. Look at the 8 pillars of defensible typology. Start with that. It's like 3 minutes or 4 minutes long, and that'll tell you most of what you need to know. I'll make another video here maybe next couple of days. I did just get a bottle of Adderall. I am feeling pretty planny and dewy, so maybe I'll plan and do that. But I'm not committing to it right at the moment. Because I'm being a little more responsible about my planning and doing of things. Trying not to overcommit and underdeliver. Okay, I'm going to go check on my soup. I'll be right back. Okay, now I think there's a straining process partway through this. So let me see about that. Okay. Well, I would say that the way I'm going to do it is I'll just strain it at the end. It gets a little difficult. The reason they want you to strain it in the middle is because um, it gets really sticky and slimy in there. You know, even with the added water, it gets thicker and thicker and thicker. So, and yet, but I'm just gonna keep adding more water and keep boiling down and keep adding more water and keep boiling down, and then eventually I will strain it and then reduce that. I think that should be fine. So, I'm not going to be streaming forever right now, I don't think. But I do think that I am going to play a couple songs on the guitar here. I feel like playing the guitar. I bet it's going to be satisfying, you know. Well, that's one of the hidden virtues of the San Pedro cactus. You can use its slime as a hair gel, and it works pretty well. But I'm going to get another piece, you know. I'll get a bigger piece this time. So it'll do a little bit more work that way. Right. Now this piece should be good to give me plenty of slime. Well, we'll see. I'll probably stream until I feel like either my soup is done or that there's something else in mind that would be worth, purposeful doing. I mean, you can see the slime, like, you can see how slimy it is. But it washes off your hands pretty nicely, you know. And it dries quickly in your hair. I don't really want to put it in my beard. I like my beard to stay fluffed out. I go like this to make sure there's no tangles in it a lot. I don't like any tangles. Well, they were only $179. Hegel. What would his thesis, antithesis, resolves to synthesis or something like that? If you are a cat bitten too, perhaps you'll visit Schrodinger too, but not Hegel. He was more about linguistics, logics, and stuff like that. Being in time, I barely know him. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. It's okay. We were all thrown into this world unawares anyway. Unawares without even underwears. When I was younger, it seemed that everything gleamed. I don't know what happened to me, but I've lost that sense of urgency, and I don't think that I'll ever see it again. If you follow my lead, you'll discover I'm loster than you, and you'll want to know the way to get back at you, wherever it was you thought you knew. Tomorrow will be just like today. I'll be lost into it's a matter of mood as much as a matter of when, and the things I do and the direction I point to still seem a part of me, departedly, and I wonder if I'll ever see them again. Bum-ba-dee-da, ba-da-ba-da-ba, ba-ba-dee-da, da-da-da. Bum-ba-dee-da, ba-da-da-da-da, ba-ba-dee-da, da-da-da. It's a matter of mood, not a matter of food. Okay, next I'm going to do the thing which I call opening up a document called Setlist Bobette List. This will give me access to songs that I do not have memorized. And without even waiting for him to ask for it, I'm going to play Amelia. Just to cut him off at the past. At the pass, I mean. Cut him off at the past. I'm not going to cut you off at the past. That would be the same thing as killing you. That's it. I'm cutting you off. You're stuck in the past now. Aw, that means I'm dead, though. Yep. Too bad for you. That's what you get for not listening to me sooner. It's the first time you've ever spoken to me. Well, you should have sought me out. You should have sought out my wisdom sooner. Amelia, go from that place. Take unto you the details of your case. Amelia, when you rise above, floating ahead and soaring like a dove, what will they say when they look at you then, moving sideways in the space you're in, and staring sidelong with that thirsty grin? Amelia, can't you see that you and I will never be? Amelia, yet you're still free, with too much opportunity to leave out in the rain. Amelia, Amelia, we're watching you, fell for sure, no matter what we do. Amelia, when you rise up above, floating ahead and soaring like a dove, what will they say when they look at you then, moving sideways in the space you're in, and staring sidelong with your thirsty grin? Amelia, can't you see that you and I will never be? Amelia, yet you're still free, too much opportunity to leave out in the, too much opportunity to leave out in the, too much opportunity to leave out in the rain. Amelia, that was not too bad. I give that a rating of not too bad. Oh, he came here with her, and what's the big problem that you can't endure? You seem so sure it's not appropriate claiming to blame things on Scott. Despite getting caught, he's got you reframing for him, straining for him, going to the gym to make yourself good enough again. Yeah, you guys both have lots invested. That's not a reason to stay around. But through the years you've both been tested. Time to move up, find higher ground. Oh, he came here with her, and what's the big problem that you can't endure? You seem so sure it's not appropriate claiming to blame things on Scott. Despite getting caught, he's got you reframing for him, straining for him, going to the gym to make yourself good enough again. Be done with him. I kind of fucked up the ending a little bit. You know, that'll happen. Things happen sometimes. It's a mystery why. Nobody knows. Nobody wants to know. Nobody thinks it matters. You know what? Everybody's right.
You're living on a time frame I will never know. Alienation and humanity's soul. Imagine you a future after the collapse, returning to the urgency of isolated past. Picturing community free of metaphysics, hunting buffalo while you're picking bread delicious. Knowledge of the seasons, wisdoms of old. Fires blazing in the night to keep away the cold. Hostility is kept at bay by what you think is in the way of life as children of the land, with an agave weatherman. Imagining a history that never could have been. You lecture at the college, advancement is a sin. Lamenting disconnection for every corporate act, asserting all your feelings and ignoring all the facts. Hostility is kept at bay. Hostility is kept at bay. What you think is in the way. What you think is in the way of life as children of the land, with an agave weatherman. You find modernity just so banal. Wish you had been born any time but now, and your experience won't run afoul of exceptions you might allow. You visualize nobility sipping on some port, or tribes of truthful savages in beautiful comport. But few of history's people ever thusly did cavort, 'cause life was solitary, nasty, British, poor and short. Hostility is kept at bay. Hostility is kept at bay. What you think is in the way. What you think is in the way of life as children of the land, with an agave weatherman. With an agave weatherman. That was a song right there. Another guy for another guy. Everybody say wah wah wah. No good come from skating on with them whom you'd mistaken for the one. Habituated defense and indecency self-inflicts eventually once your search is done. Driving in the car last night, we had a massive fight. Each insisting we were right and the other one to blame. So when you pulled that stunt, I screamed something awfully blunt. My words were as wrong as they were dumb, and I've earned my share of shame. It's each of our own failings, not us doing the nailing to the wall. We fear so the others sailing off to reset their life and all. You can trust me, I can trust you, though neither trust ourselves much true. The love lies deep between you and me, at least about that we can both agree. Driving in the car last night, we had a massive fight. Each insisting we were right and the other one to blame. So when you pulled that stunt, I screamed something awfully blunt. My words were as wrong as they were dumb, and I've earned my share of shame. My share of shame. Oh well, he's barbecue tart, lemon squeeze, the friendliest guy that you will see. Yes, he wants to be your friend, but he comes from around the bend, and it will be a while till he sees you again. Parker Tart Lemon Squeeze. He's a friend to you and me. He's international delight's favorite go-to right-hand guy. He's international like him and also busy like his friend Beaver B. Busiest creature, busy as a bee, busy as a beaver, and so much busier than Pucker Tart Lemon Squeeze. Well, he's Pucker Tart Lemon Squeeze. Shabba-doo-ba-da-ba-ba-doo-da. Pucker Tart Lemon Squeeze. Shabba-doo-ba-da. Yes, he's Pucker Tart Lemon Squeeze. Shabba-doo-ba-da-ba-ba-doo-da. Pucker Tart Lemon Squeeze. Shabba-doo-ba-da. And if you go to visit him for starts, remember to bring something sour or tart. He's not a fan of sugary sweets because he's Pucker Tart and not Pucker Sweet. Well, he's Pucker Tart Lemon Squeeze, the friendliest guy that you will see. Yes, he wants to be your friend, but he comes from around the bend, and it will be a while till he sees you again. Lemon Squeeze. That's enough of that song. I said it didn't need to go all the way through again. It should just end right there. Oh, it is here. Next I'm going to play probably my favorite song to play, I guess. I guess it really is my favorite song to play at the moment. Wonderful, wonderful kitty, having wonderful times. Always cleaning yourself, making sure you got clean lines. Wonderful, wonderful kitty, such a fabulous soft friend. And now it's wonderful kitty petting time again. Just let me pet you, don't walk away. It's petting time, and wonderful, wonderful kitty, having wonderful times. Always cleaning yourself, making sure you got clean lines. But your wonderful kitty is a fabulousness I've never encountered before. And I know that I want to pet my kitty some more. Just let me pet you, don't walk away. It's petting time. Hooray! Hooray! Too hot to go without this thing on, even though it makes background noise. This is a song, the best song with Rachel, but I was singing by myself. Just brooding here won't do any good, but brooding's more and more my style. I seek the cheer ways of standing where we stood, 'cause I've been stuck here a while. That's despite a natural selfishness that makes it easy to have fun. But flutters in the gut become a fist as all my visions come undone. I tried to stream, distract, and dream the afternoon away, but heavy new realities bear down on every day, and for a bit I am out of it. For reasons still unsaid, still I need get out of me, get out of me in my head. It seems like everybody's so sensitive and ready to just get mad. I seek the simple ways of living like a kid, 'cause who wants to be the dad? Boom, 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 boom. Have we lost our sense of self-respect? Our good. Fucking, I scrolled down too far. Have we lost our sense of scope and scale? Our capacity to laugh, the sense to know when not to wail, and how to tip the golden calf. I tried to stream, distract, and dream the afternoon away, but heavy new reality bear down on every day, and for a bit I am out of it, for reasons still unsaid. Still I need get out of me what's inside my head. Until I'm sad, so sad for me, sad for her. I'm happily, and what you call sorrow, I call home. Blues that sink clear down to the bone, down to the bone. Still I'm sad, so sad for me, sad for her. I'm happily, and what you call sorrow, I call home. Blues that sink clear down to the bone. All the way down to the bone. I shall go now. I shall look and see about my soup. I'll be right back. Well, it's still boiling away. Let's see what's going on in the old chatteroo here. Why has Eric not been looking at us? Because I can't look at you and set list Bobette list at the same time. It's too much of a distraction. Stray. Stray's an amazing game. With Newton might be a stretch and they hate each other. Well, you know. Sometimes hate is the strongest collaborative glue of all. Is it about cats? You don't need a ranch for a second. Is it about cats? Simple question. I know, my hair gel, my Cactus hair gel works pretty damn good. You know? That's pretty impressive hair gel. It's pretty good. Why I can't do that? I don't know. Okay, so we actually have quite a bit of time left probably on this boil. I'm going to actually end the stream on cloudy day in Los Angeles, and then I'm gonna go mess with the fire some more. I'm gonna try to get it a little bit hotter maybe.
it would be a good idea if Eric branched out a little. Branched out into what? Should I go into the field of nautical navigation? Which I help ships find their way across the open ocean, even though there's GPS. I use the old methods. I look at the stars, I feel my penis, I go, that way. Hey, keep the adult conversation out of this chat, please, Boba Fett. I have no talk of sextants around here. You and your sextants, I don't know what's going on in those tents, you know. Well, I do. It's sex. It's a very sexy day in Los Angeles. And today I'm sexing it up. Sexy day, sexy Eric time. He's so sexy, why? He's such a sexy guy. Sexy day in Los Angeles. Sexy day in LA. I'm the Lord of Evangelist. I just have sexy things to say. Life can strangely be forgiving to guys who are as sexy as me. Voices try to say, hey, sexy, but they don't appeal to me. I'm supposed to sex you, or just say, no, please go away. It depends on whether you are Rachel or somebody else in my way. It's a very sexy day in Los Angeles. And today I'm sexing it up. Trouble still to come. I'm so sexy, yeah. I'm such a super sexy guy. There. That's called the Sexy Day in Los Angeles version of Cloudy Day in Los Angeles. Okay. I may be back later to stream more, but for now I'm going to be done streaming. I'm going to mess with my soup a bit. You know, it's got a lot more times to go. But, yeah. And, I think I take a bath maybe. I feel like I'm feeling sweaty and sticky. Not my hair. My hair feels fine. But, like, my body from sweating and being around outside and stuff like that. Okay, so thanks for being here, everybody. Love you all. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese. R.I.P. Vince Scully.